Welcome back everybody, and good afternoon for those that it's in the afternoon. Video today. Right, I said after the last, if you watched my last video on the Nymolabs offline controller and what the quality of it was, and I would say the quality of the manufacturing was good. However, I couldn't vouch on the quality of the operation as I haven't used it yet. Now, the only information I knew from out there was somebody said it's plug and play. That's it. Well, I've set it up today and I'll show you how I've fixed it above the machine. I've 3D printed some brackets and I've used some oval shaped arms, which is like, you could use any tubing, you could use a piece of broom handle providing you had something to clamp it with, but it needs to be away from your machine. And you'll see how I've done mine. And I've just done the basic operation. This is what this video is about. I needed to know whether it would do all the basic operations and the functionality of being able to customize anything. You couldn't do it on the other one. It was good at what it did, but it was pretty basic. I'll show you on the machine. It does operate extremely well from what I can see at the moment, but what I'll do is I'll show you that now and then we'll go from there. Right, here we are at the machine. As you can see here, this is what I've done. This is just oval shape. In actual fact, it's the same metal that tubing that you use in wardrobes, just oval shaped. I had a length and I 3D printed some brackets. You can see that there. One bracket. The two are the same brackets, and all they are glued together. It's just easy way when you manufacture them on the 3D printer. Then that is you can see the other bracket there, and then the plate that you get with the screen is bolted to it. Okay, I can slide that in and out. I can bring it further away from the machine, or I can take it in. I like it where it is. There's two brackets here, and that allows me to lift it up and down to whatever I want. It's not up at its maximum, it's about another 3 inch, but I didn't want it too high because obviously I've got an up and over garage door, so that'll restrict that. The other screen's off. Okay, and that's the screen. Then you have there you have that lead runs down, and that is a printer lead that goes into your control box, and that is a power lead, USB-C type, that runs down. And just make sure that you have a decent power supply. Okay, I have, and it works first time. Okay, right, now then let's come to the screen so you can see how it's mounted. I'll show you from this direction. Okay, when the machine homes, it's well clear. I can lift it up another 3 inch if I wanted, but it comes to about there, so it's well clear and it's about the right level that I want it at. I don't see there's any need to have it any higher. You could do, but I can shut the garage door down if I'm working, or if it comes bad weather, and it'll still actually work without adjusting it down. Right, to the screen. Right, first thing I do is pop the power lead. It's connected by the USB, but then put the power lead in. That should fire up that Nymolabs or Nymolabs, whichever. It's giving you version 4th axis. It's initializing. It'll run 4th axis. That comes up. Okay, and then switch the machine on. And it's coming up idle. All right. It is working. You can see it. I touch anything and it's moving it. All right. I can use the MPG controller as well. Now, I'll go through these in a minute. There's some that I have to look into more detail, but I'm just showing you that this screen fires up without you having to touch anything. Okay, if you click on the set, right, is your tool probe. It's already picked it up because it's already set in the control box. Okay, not your offline controller screen, it's in the control box. and the probe height for this is 12mm, return height 13mm, and you can alter the seek speed. Like I altered that, you can click on there, and I altered it to, it was a bit slow, so I've altered it to 300, which is what I want. And then your feed rate, you can alter everything on here. Okay, just show you in the manual what you can alter. All right, we'll go back to command. There are 5 custom macros there. At any time you can use them. I'm not going to go into them because this is just the basic operation of the machine. All right, now I'm going to just show you what it'll do if you set it up for a job. It's idle at the moment here, which is telling me that it's connected. All right, if you look, it's away from the machine, it's been to 0. So now, as I say, I haven't touched this. If I press home, you can see the spindle, it's going to home. Okay, if you watch the coordinates at the top here, zeroed. The other one didn't 0. I had to 0 it when it came. It always had coordinates on it, but that wasn't a problem. All right, you can move down here. You can alter your feed speeds, your feed rate, and I believe you can do it on the fly. Right, spindle speed, that's what your SP stands for. If you click on that, you're going in there, which is set at 1000, but I control mine with a separate control box anyway, which I like. You can turn your air assist on and off. Okay, but I don't have air assist. All right, that's your probe. If you go into probe, it will set the probe in motion as you touch off. That's the reset if you're in a custom macro and you want to come out of that custom macro. All right, I'd have to look into that, but I don't know what that one is at the moment. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you using the controls here, not the MPG controller for moving it. I'll just show you what I'll do here. So that's moving that X plus, and it's showing you it moving there, and it's showing you what it's moving up there. Keep your finger on it, it moves continuous until you stop. So, which the other one, this is more accurate. I'll just move that back a little bit. That's about right. And I'll move the y-axis. Okay, so what I'm going to do is home the machine. As I say, I haven't touched this. The screen's been plugged in and it fired up as you saw, and I'm just homing the machine. And what it will do, it will actually 00 itself at home. The other screen didn't, it always had coordinates on it, but I used to 00 anyway. So you can see there, X and Y 00. Z hasn't, because it's where it is. Okay, you have to do that. Excuse me. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll use this, not the MPG. I'll move the machine over. What I'm attempting to do with this is just as though I've got the timber in for the dragger that I did, and I'm just as though I'm zeroing it off. Okay, so a bit more on the Y. Okay, near enough. Oh, this is only to show you, because the spindle isn't going to be on. It's as though it's machining in fresh air. Okay, now we're going to touch off. And as I always tell you, when you're touching off, keep your eye on that stop button, emergency stop. Okay, so it's touched off. We know that's right. Okay, leave that there. Now what we're going to do is, the first thing you're going to do is, because you've got the job coordinates, is 0 the X and 0 the Y. That is your job position. Okay, so then you're going to load a file, load G-code, SD card, 6mm holes, which you're doing that. Select this. Okay, generate toolpath, telling me the toolpath's already in. Okay, as soon as I press start, that will start machining. I'll remove the timber because the spindle's not running. Okay, you're going to map. There's one line because there's a hole at the end, hole at that end. Alright, that's what it's showing you. So the X in the middle is where your job origin is. Go back to file and start. Okay, you'll go to the right hand side and you'll see it as though it's putting the first hole in. That's one hole. It'll move across to do the next side. You can watch this mapping. You can see it there. So if you in this screen here with your map, it shows you the G code being run. Alright. And the machine, that X then is where the cutter is. That will show you going back to the job origin again. So whatever fancy G code you've got in there, it will show you. I'll repeat that again. Okay, so file, start the G code because it's already loaded. Alright, 6mm holes, it tells you at the top. File's creating, and it file size 35.50 kilobytes. Processing counts 1. Time 1 minute 19 seconds. Alright, so I'll start it again and I'll show you the map there. There you go. It's really responsive is the screen, I must admit. As I say, this screen was £136 off Amazon, and the quality of the screen is, to say the least, it's a professional feel screen. So you can see that back to job origin. Okay, it's still 00 on X and Y. It's still touched off. So now all we would do is file, load D code, SD, and I will do the first roughing cut, which would be let's see, roughing fast. We'll do that one. Okay, select this G code. That tells you the correct toolpath that's in. Alright, generate toolpath. It's a lot more involved, as you can see the progress screen. All right, I'll stop this through once it starts, because it's just one of them things where start and then map. Now you can see there that the other screen didn't show you this. I can decrease that speed to feed rate, let's see, let's take it, it's 100%, so let's take it to 50%. Now we'll do it this way, 50%. Okay, enter. You can see the speed that it's altered to. %. So that's slowed to half the original speed. So I want to increase that again, back to 100%. Okay, 100, enter, and you can see it ramping up the feed speed. Right, we'll go back into file. You can pause that and then start again. Okay. On the other one, you pause, the play button and is the pause. So as I say, you can pause this and start it back again. Carries from where you've paused it. Okay, go back into your map and it's still showing you where you're actually working. The other, by the way, the little squealing that you can hear is because I cleaned the rods after and the lead screws the other day. I wiped them all down and cleaned them all, and they want lubricating again. But I'm just running the machine now just to show you this. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll take it out of this program. So we'll stop it. When you stop it, it stops the machine. Okay, doesn't pause it, it stops it. We'll go back into command and we'll go home. So you can see this is it's virtually plug and play. Very responsive screen, which I like. You can alter different speeds, rapid speed, feed rate. You can do various things, but use it basically until, if you get one of these screens, until you get used to what it can do. I'll show you some of the other screens. There you go, it's got coordinates on because that was the so you would zero that now. That's 0. Right, that shows you your G code screen, so you can alter your G code. Manual input is that. Map you've seen, file you've seen, command you've seen, and that is your set screen for your probe. Spindle speed, beep on, That's the beep for the screen when you're touching it, the screen. So yeah, all the settings are there. There's not much else to say about the operation of the screen. Your little micro SD card goes in the slot at the side here. So I don't want it in any other position, and I think this is with the, along with the MPG controller and this screen, this makes one hell of a good desktop CNC machine. Why Sainsmart don't sell a better quality screen, I don't know, because this machine is very, the upgraded one, X-axis one, is very similar to the Nymolabs CNC that they do, is this machine, and they supply a different control box with a screen on, and you get this to fit that control box, this screen. Why Sainsmart haven't done it, that I don't know, but from what you can see, it's very responsive is the screen. Execute this command, no. There's lots of different things that this screen can do that that other one at £49 does not do. It works okay, does the £49 one, as you've seen, and it'll run all day long. Even when I were getting the whiteout screens, it was still completing the task I'd set to program the toolpath. It just continued it. Okay, you can alter the fine tuning of whether you want it to move when you press the X or Y or any of the axes. It'll move a millimetre, or you can do it 0.1 of a millimetre for fining it, or C is continuous. As long as you've got your finger on the button, it'll move. Alright, that's the screen. I said I'd saw it working. I will be using it to run another program. Right, now that's it for this video. Don't forget to watch the video about the unboxing of this Nymolabs screen. It's quite a comprehensive, really, instruction booklet that comes with it, and you get all the necessary leads. I'll put a link in the description down below, which tells you where I've got it from. As I say, it was Amazon for me, and it was £136 some pence, and it came within about 5 days. Brilliant addition. You've seen it mounted to the machine there. It's exactly where I want it. I can move it a little bit more if I want, and it is plug and play. It picks up, you can alter it, and you can program a lot more with this offline controller than you can the one from Sainsmart. But there's a difference in cost. You know, there's less than £100. You've got a fantastic, well-made screen. But I will show you this working, machine working with another project that I've got. It won't be just yet, because I have other things to do as well. The brackets that I've used are only 3D printed, but you can make, I'm sure you can make, if you haven't got a 3D printer, you can make an arm or whatever you want to use it as. It's entirely up to yourselves. Right, that's it. So don't forget, like and subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. It does help my channel. They are going up my subscribers, but it's going up very slowly. As I say, my channel is very specific. It's not just vlogging on everyday things. I find, or I feel that if I need to do a video, it's got to be a constructive video. It can't just be about something I'm just willy-nilly doing in the workshop. It's got to be something that I feel people probably use or help them with. I am going to show you the dust shoe that on the next job, how it's working. That's for a later video. So give me a thumbs up, and as I always say at the end of every video, be safe and be careful, and until the next time I see you, bye for now. Bye.